She'll edit it. Hello everybody. We did, in the past, we've done tips from the top occasionally, giving you just short videos of what we thought was informational subjects. But I am recommitting to do tips from the top every week. Every Monday you will get a short video, 2 to 5 minutes, unless I'm doing it. But this will be our one opportunity to communicate with you on very important items. So take 2 to 10 minutes and watch this when you get the video. I'll be doing them, Brian will be doing them, Paula will be doing them. A lot of legal issues, different lawsuits around the state involving real estate, contract changes, different things like that. And informational things, generating business tips, different things. But we don't have the opportunity to visit and talk and communicate in the meetings and so many of you in your lifestyles. So this will be an opportunity for just a few minutes to try to communicate with every agent in our company. So please take an opportunity to watch us. Now today, I'm doing it. I'm going to ramble a little bit. I'm going to preach to you a little bit. Today I want to just comment on an obsession I have as the owner of this company, and that's, are you getting the business that you're supposed to get, that you want to get? We have 3 groups of agents in this company, in my opinion. The first group are the newer people that have come in and joined. They're going through all of our training. Chastity Albritton, who is just a gift. Thank you, Chastity. And I think each of the agents that have come in will say the same thing. I have so many great comments about Chastity. She sits down one-on-one and discusses different things, but gives you training options, gives you how to generate business. You go to my boot camp. It's optional, but most of the newer agents have gone through my boot camp, which I do a 4-hour session that I do during the week 1 month, and then the other month I try to do it on a Saturday. And those who have gone through my boot camp, I discuss every possible way to generate business. Open houses for sale owners, expired technology, every way to generate business, with 2 to 5 minute videos from the top national trainers on each subject. So group 1, the newer agents, the ones that are joining, ones that have been here for a short period of time, you're getting that training. You're getting knowledge of how to generate business. And you're doing awesome. Most of the new agents that have gone through our boot camp, that have gone through the training with Chastity, are generating business. Now, I've seen several closings in the last week or two from the newer agents, and I've texted many of you. So we have that group, and that group is okay. I mean, you're learning. You know, you have to choose whether you want to do the business or not, but it's there for you. Group 2 is the many agents we have in our company that you got a husband and 3 kids, you've got ball, guys, you hunt and fish, you have your lifestyle and you're comfortable with what you do, and I'm fine with that. I've made it known to the world that I don't look at quantity, I look at quality. If I trust you and you're honest and you represent the company well, then I don't care if you do 1 deal a year or you're the #1 agent. But you have to decide in this group 2 that you're happy with the volume that you're getting. You may be doing 6, 7, 8 deals. You may be doing $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year. I can just name after agents that are in this group that I love, that are fantastic people. Don't see you that often, but you're comfortable with the volume that you're doing and having the quality of lifestyle. So that group is okay. That group probably doesn't want to double their production, increase their production. If you have, if you're a mother of 3 kids and you want to be there when your husband gets home, and you want to be there with the ball and everything with your kids, you don't need to be working 80 hours a week in real estate. Your family should be your first priority. So that's group 2, and group 2 is doing fine. Group 3 is the agents that either never got off the ground or that have been here 2 to 50 years, that either are not doing the business they want to do, or that group that has done a lot of business in the past years and that business has fallen off. I worry about this group, the people that have to make a living, that have to pay bills, they have to provide for their family. And so many of you have been very, very successful in the past, and all of a sudden now, what happened to the business? Where's it at? Well, in many, many, many cases, we get so involved with taking care of people. We start off and we do things and we generate that business, and we have calls. I know when I was the #1 agent in the early 90s, my assistant would call me, you got an appointment at 2, you got an appointment at 5, you got an appointment at 7, and I would just respond to those. We get so busy that we forget to do the things that got us that business. And by losing those people, by not communicating with those groups, all of a sudden new agents come in from around the parish, and they start attaching themselves to that sphere of influence to people and start communicating with them, and now they move from you to somebody else because they're communicating with them and keeping up with them. So you lose that, or you forget what you did to get that business. So the first thing for that group 3, to get back on track, to generate business, if you need more business, if you want more business, I accept a lot of fault for things that maybe I don't do. I'm very proud of all the things that we do. But one thing we don't do is we don't force you to do business. I don't tell you get out every day. I don't call you every day and say make 100 phone calls. If I have to force you to do business, you don't need to be in real estate, okay? But we have everything available to show you how to do things. But you have to make the effort to come to us to do that. The first thing is, if you need more business and you're not getting it, then what are you doing? You've got to ask yourself the question. You have to accept the responsibility. It's not my responsibility to hand you business. It's my responsibility to teach you how to get business. But what are you doing? If you're sitting at home waiting on the phone to ring, you come in the office waiting on the phone to ring, then you're not doing anything. You have to be active. You have to do something. If you're not getting business, number one is ask yourself the question, what am I doing? My son Brian, who many of y'all have met, I'm so proud of all my kids and stepkids and all of them. Brian, master's degree, came here for a year or so, many of you know, but was a top insurance agent in South Carolina. In a very short period of time, he was given a top award as the #1 agent in the state or his territory or whatever. And later he told me that the top guru for the company, MetLife, came to him, flew down and came to him, sat down and said, what are you going to do to generate more business? I will never forget, I tell this in every boot camp, what his answer was. He said, I cannot control who's going to invest, not invest, who needs insurance, doesn't need insurance. All I can control is my work ethics. I come in every day, I go through the same regimen, I make the same phone calls, I do what I'm supposed to do every day, and the business falls where it's supposed to fall. And he continues to be tremendously successful because he has a plan. So you have to ask yourself the question, what are you doing? Are you soliciting for self-owners? Are you calling people? Are you doing open houses? What are you doing? Do you have a plan? If you don't, then sit down and figure out what you can do to generate that business. It is so simple. It is so simple. I tell my boot camp class, if I had to tell you one thing other than spirit of influence, the hour of power. Take 1 hour a week. The top agents throughout the country take 1 hour every day. It is religious form. There's no exceptions. They sit down and they take 1 hour every day and make phone calls. if you would take 1 hour a week and make phone calls, you would be shocked at the business that you could generate. Who do you call? It makes no difference. And I'll talk about that more next week in the tips from the top. I tell the story of going to Shreveport one day. And I do the same thing as an owner. I get on the phone and I call people. And sometimes for no reason. I've called many of you for no reason, just checking on you. But I make phone calls. You have to communicate with people for something to happen. I tell the story of going through Ruston, remembering a friend in Ruston that I met that manages the radio station, called him, said, "How you doing, man?" He said, "Man, I'm doing great. What are you doing?" It was like 7 o'clock in the evening. And long story short, we started to hang up, and he said, "Hey, by the way, do you know anybody in the Monroe, West Monroe area that has an office available that we can broadcast ESPN live?" And we end up, that was years ago. Today, they still broadcast live from my West Monroe studio here. I get free advertising on several stations. And they broadcast saying, broadcasting live to you today from the Coldwell Banker Group Monroe Leach studio. That was because of a phone call. About 2 weeks ago, was in my golf cart driving from the clubhouse, hitting a few balls, to my house, driving down the street, saw a neighbor that I never met. Him and his wife seemed very conservative, a little bit standoffish, with some kids, grandkids there, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. Even me, it was outside my comfort level, but I drove my car down their driveway. I could see him thinking, oh my God, and kind of stepping back, and I thought, this is not a good idea, Daryl. But I said, I'm your neighbor, hadn't met you, just thought I'd say hello, and we started talking. They started opening up, and we just started laughing and had a great talk, and I said, man, I just want to say hello, leave you alone if I can ever help, loan you some eggs or bacon or whatever we got, let me know. Say, come by and use the pool if you want to for your grandkids. Yesterday, I got a call from these people, and they said, can you and your wife come over and talk to us about selling our house? Probably a $500,000 house, because I took the opportunity to do something, say something. So, long story short today, if you need more business, if you're not happy with what you're doing, ask yourself the question, what are you doing? And if you're ready to do something, let us know. Next week's video will be a 5-10 minute discussion on the different things you can do and the top 2 or 3 things that people do throughout the country. Even if you're a 20-year veteran and you want to go back to do some things, I'm going to tell you next week what to do. Love each one of you. God bless you. Have a great day.